Welcome back.
Hello and welcome back to the Kindred Spirits Club podcast. Hey, Haley. We have
Hello.
a special guest here today. Do you want to introduce our guest?
This is my baby brother, Raiden. We've
Whoop, whoop.
talked about him several times, probably almost
Hello.
every episode. But
Honestly, yeah, I think we have. Like, completely unintentionally, he's been
the
featured on
man,
every episode.
the man, the myth, the legend, Raiden. Here he is. Yay.
Thank
Insert
you.
Yay! Insert
Thank you
crowd
for
clapping.
clapping
having
noises. You're
Yes, thank
welcome.
you for having me today. This is an honor and a privilege. I've waited my entire life to
He's a
yeah.
little.
This is my
Raiden's
first
very
first time
excited.
doing this, so
First time
Welcome.
podcasting. Not his first
cheers.
time talking.
Cheers on the coffee.
Clink.
His first
those-
time having a conversation.
Our dad texted me apparently when I was describing the fish. I don't remember what episode that was. I said it was this big and I made the hand movement and he goes, for those watching or for those just listening, you need to describe. So for those just
Aw.
listening, we clinked our coffee cups together. Dad.
Oh my god, that is so cute. I love the thought of your dad listening to our podcast. That just filled me with so much joy. Oh my gosh.
Shout out, Dad.
Aw,
One of our
shout
5
out.
listeners.
One of our 5 listeners. Also, my dad's one of our listeners, so that's
Shout out
cute.
Kate's dad.
Shout out to the dads listening. What's up? Yeah, Rescue Fish was a great episode. I loved the Rescue Fish story. But so happy to have Raiden here on the pod. We were previewing a bit of like what should we talk about? How deep should we go? Which was a great conversation, and I don't know where we landed, so we're just gonna figure it out. But I have a great starting topic because something really interesting happened to me yesterday.
Okay.
Spill.
So yesterday, I'm laying in bed at 7 a.m. I've been getting up around 7, proud of myself. And was laying there, was like mildly scrolling, mildly just like whatever. And I was like, I gotta get up, do my thing. 7:28. All of a sudden, I feel a gentle shake. And I'm like, oh, weird. And then a very large
Earthquake.
shake. And I saw literally my walls moving a little bit. And it was a long earthquake. I got a notification on my phone that said like drop, cover, like blah, 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 just like stop, drop, and roll right before
Oh my
earthquake.
God.
Yeah, which I've never gotten before because I'll get an earthquake alert and it's just like, oh, earthquake happened. You might have felt like a little bit of a tremor or something. It was literally like stop, drop, and roll, girl. And so I get Sahil up and I'm like, go in the closet. We're going in the closet. Like we're just like sitting there like on this little chair we have in the closet. And I'm like, how serious was this? But it was so strong. I have never felt anything like that in my life. And I really sort of hope that when Haley comes next week, there's like a teeny tiny little earthquake just
I
so that
don't.
she can.
I do not want any earthquake whatsoever. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I hope that a little
Have you
teeny tiny
experienced an
tremor.
earthquake yet?
No,
Oh yeah, you
I
were
don't
in
think I
Seattle.
will. I don't know if they really do that there though.
They
think
do. Yeah,
they
Seattle's
have
like high risk for sure.
volcanoes, and that's like the thing to worry about. But I don't think there's going to be if there's an eruption of Mount St. Helens, then the world will implode.
Yeah,
Other
in
than
like
that,
Fair.
2 to
we're
3
pretty solid.
seconds. I will say, so where I was going with this is like the kind of earthquakes versus hurricanes thing. So when we moved here at first, people were like, "You're afraid of earthquakes? Like hurricanes are way more deadly. They're like way more scary, whatever." And it's like, hold up. A hurricane you have
Mm-mm.
like notice. You
Yeah,
know,
like a
and
fair
like
amount.
you have a good bit of notice to like protect. I mean, worst case you could flee, right? Like an earthquake is
Mhm.
like you have no idea, you don't know how strong that's going to be, you don't know how long it's going to last. Like I don't know. What's your take on which is scarier, earthquake or hurricane?
I have an opinion on this. So I
Okay.
think these days most structures are built to withstand either, right?
Yeah.
Like a level 5, a category 5 hurricane and like a 10 earthquake, they're both going to like screw some stuff up, right? But the idea is for most generic like mid-grade hurricanes, mid-grade earthquakes, you're not really in much danger. I mean, you can be if you're in like an old house or something like that, or you're straight in the like path. Um, but yeah, hurricanes are predictable, so you know when they're coming. You can
Right.
kind of bet whether it's gonna come straight to you or if it's gonna go screw up another part of Florida or whatever, or just
Yeah.
completely whiff and not hit Florida at all.
Either way, there's no way to avoid it. But
Yeah. One, you
I
just
feel like
have,
you
like, more
can.
advanced notice at least.
Mhm.
You can prepare better. But, yeah, that's, like, for sure when I moved out here a few years ago, like, that's, like, for sure the narrative is, like, hurricanes are way scarier, they're way more deadly, like, earthquakes are, like, no big deal. I'm like, "Huh? What?" Like,
They became no big deal because
oh, because of the, like,
because
retrofitting and
I mean,
stuff?
yeah, earthquakes were a problem when there was an earthquake and then the entire town would catch on fire for like
Right.
a month, and then like the entirety of San Francisco needs to be rebuilt or something. Like
Yeah.
that's when it was a
That
problem, and then
happened.
we
That was a thing.
designed better structures out of different materials, and like that hasn't been a thing since, really. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
obviously bad earthquakes are still bad, but they don't cause like the entire town to be leveled by fires.
Yeah.
I feel like I
Spoken
saw
like
something where like they came out with basically like infrastructure that like moves with it, and so the buildings there are built to move, which is
Mhm.
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
freaky to me. But I mean, it makes sense. Like if there's the inevitable, it's going to move. Why not make it move?
Mhm.
Yeah.
There's like certain tolerances, and
Mm-hmm.
I think that's
at
our
the top
building.
it would move like upwards of a dozen feet or something like that if you're
Ugh.
talking about a really tall building, just because of
Yeah.
the
I
sway.
know, that's such a lot. Yeah, and you see this sometimes, like, in New York, if it's, like, really
Mhm.
windy or something, and people will talk about, like, their building, like, moving, which crazy. No way.
That's so
Wouldn't
freaky.
be
I
me,
don't like that.
girl. I'm on the ground. None of this, like, 43rd floor business. But I wanted to say, Raiden, you sound like such
Mhm.
burp for a dramatic pause. You sound like such an undergrad of, like, a STEM field,
Well, I
Well, I mean,
and
he is.
you just sound so and I'm like, "Oh, it's just so nice." But I feel like this would be a good transition to tell us a little bit about
Mhm.
yourself before we get to I have
Okay.
another question that
Okay.
came up but I wanna give
Write
you
it
an
down.
opportunity to address the audience.
Yeah, so to introduce myself, the reason why I have a little bit of understanding of structures and stuff like that, I'm go to UF, University of Florida in Gainesville. That's where we're recording this right now.
Whoop, whoop.
Um,
Go Gators.
I started as a civil engineer, and then yeah, Gator Chomp ensues for those online or only watching or only
Or
listening,
audio.
audio only. Yeah. Um, So now I'm computer science. I switched in my second semester because my professor in one of my first semesters was a PhD in civil engineering, and she was talking about how she wrote her like dissertation, had to defend a thesis on like asphalt, and she just like hated her life. And that I did not want that to be me. So ever since then, I've been a computer nerd kind of for a long, long time, but it
Mhm.
only just kind of manifested
We
in
can credit
college.
that to him playing Minecraft and Sims a bunch, and I
Yeah.
think I like to say that I've paved a way with it by he.
What?
I remember you like sitting in. I mean, this is the kind of kid that Raiden was. He had a desk, like a
Oh Lord.
computer desk, in his room,
Said, "Oh boy."
and he would put his like over the ear headphones on, and he would sit there and he would play. The Sims, but this was like before he could type really, really good. I remember him being like, "Hey!" and calling me from across the house and being like, "Can you type the cheat code in for me?" And he made me sit there and type, what is it, like Motherload and then the
Motherload.
family last name like
Oh my
100
god.
times in order to get. And
That
I
is true.
couldn't type that well either. But he was like, "Can you please type this in for me?"
But yeah, that was probably like the last era of that. Did you guys do cursive too? I definitely had
I
cursive.
Mhm.
I did not. That was I was like
Mm.
the year that they stopped
They like
doing that in
phased
the
it
third
out.
grade. Yeah.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
my cursive looks like ass, for lack of better terms.
Wow,
It's
we have like a special skill. We should monetize that, Haley. How can we
mm,
teach the lads cursive? Do cursive TikTok.
I don't think anybody writes anymore, though. That's the thing.
I know. I do.
It's
I
all
have
typing.
like but I
um
totally get it. I need to write because I am a certifiable dumbass, but the
use your
computer
iPad and the font on your iPad that'll
dude,
turn
none of
There
that
you
stuff,
go.
your
like, I
letters
can't,
into
bro.
cursive.
Yeah, I do that. I'll write on my iPad. I just need to write things. Like I can't type anything. I can't retain anything anyway. I'm like a water balloon full of water. Like there's only
Really?
so much I can finish. But thank you for that introduction. Sorry. Did I cut you off? Was
I
there
cut him
something?
off. You
I think yeah, so computers, I don't think games were really like my like intro into it. I just always
Mhm.
wanted to have like a good setup. So I'd always just think about, oh,
Mhm.
let me like get this monitor and this monitor or whatever, get it all working together. It was more just about the computers itself than like software or anything in it. But
Mhm.
um yeah, to segue, I'm in like my senior year, so I have 2 semesters left.
Wow. Oh my god, that's
Um
crazy. You're gonna graduate
yes.
soon.
I know
So
I'm sick to my stomach about it.
I don't like it.
taking my last year with stride and trying to do new and
Oh.
interesting things and help benefit the people at UF as much as I can before I'm leaving. So
Hmm.
He
How
started a
is
club.
I
Oh,
did.
tell me. Was this the thing you messaged me about that you wanted a logo for and then never responded when I
It
provided
is. It
answers?
is.
Okay.
If you're actually down, we kind of could
I
use
have
your
no
assistance a little
bandwidth.
bit.
I will help you in October.
Okay, that's totally understandable.
I came up
Um,
with our logo. I can help you on Canva.
Oh yeah, Haley's a logo artist now. She's got one
Certified.
under
Yeah. Yeah.
certified,
okay,
one notch under
okay.
her belt.
I have one logo under my belt. Thank you.
Yeah. Whoop whoop.
So
But what is the club? Sorry.
it is called Computing Student Union at UF. It is essentially made for all computer science, computer engineering, electrical engineering, like anyone who does stuff with computers or code or whatever, like stuff like that.
Mhm.
The main idea is getting people together to work on problems that people normally don't. So most like student organizations are focused on creating events and like hosting things and bringing people together, having food, having these, community events, social stuff like that.
Mhm.
But I found, and me and my peers found,
Me and my
the
peers. Me and
well, I
my
mean, I have
homeboys.
like four, yeah, me and my homeboys, like four other people essentially. But like,
Yeah.
there's no one's really focusing on the real problems that we're facing
Mhm.
um, as like computing students, right? There's 30 plus clubs on campus. They're all doing kind of their own thing. And we're trying to essentially gather all of the work that's being done and leave it behind so that the next generation of students to come after us don't have to restart things or
Mhm.
to um, do the work that's already been done. For those listening in the future, it's if you want to check it out, ufcsu.org or ufcsu.com. You can check out the
USCSU.
website. It's currently in development mode, so please don't look at it until after like September or
Go look,
October
but not
2nd or
now.
something.
Oh, it looks
Yeah.
so good.
It's
Wow. Leave it to the
yeah, we,
computer
we have an
science
entire
kids to have a
team.
really good website, though. This
Yeah.
looks so
He's like, it's in
profesh.
development. Meanwhile,
No, I mean the text on
It's
the
really
website is
good.
currently Lorem Ipsum, so it's just like
Not all of
Laura
blank.
it.
It's
Ipsum. I
Lorem
cannot.
Ipsum. Lorem
it is
Ipsum would be
blank.
also a really good name for a podcast. Just a
Mm.
sidebar. I'm like, Lorem Ipsum would be such a good name.
So shout out to my
This
team,
is
Jimmy,
great.
Chris, Sai, the tech team, Prayuj, Nikhil,
Yeah.
etc.,
You had
for
an
helping me
event,
on this
yes.
project. So
Sorry, you had an event 2 days ago, 5
mm,
PM.
nope.
The fall GBPO, 5 PM my time, by 8 PM your time at LOO7.
I think that is a fake event that we made just to see what it would look like on the page. So
Oh,
that's what I'm
What is
saying. It's not quite
GBM?
live. General body meeting, but
Oh, cute,
anyway,
cute,
we're
cute.
working on it. So
General
don't
body meeting. Sorry.
body yada yada yada.
Body, yada, yada, yada. That's so cool. You're so thoughtful and considerate. This is funny because, well, this is great. I feel like I've said this a couple of times recently, but like I just never knew you were gonna grow up to be such a thoughtful, like considerate person. Not that I did. Okay, I didn't think you were not going to be like wonderful. You just ended up a lot more.
Incapable of deep thinking. Mm.
You just ended up a lot more than I like had thought because in my defense, okay, as a kid, you were a whack job. Love
yeah.
you so much. You were and kids are so wacky and like whatever. But
Yeah.
I was like, I feel like
Little boys are
Raiden,
strange to begin with,
little
but
boys are strange, right? And I was like, adult version of this is like He's gonna go crazy at like a frat party and just become like a frat boy or whatever.
I
What
had
a lad.
grandma in my freshman year, before freshman year at college. She was like, I was at her house. She's like, we're talking about going to college. She's giving me some like UF random stuff that she found or like made around the house. And then like some crafts, things like that. And then, she's like, Raiden, just promise me one thing. I can do maybe a better grandma impression, but
Yeah,
promise me one
warm up
thing.
to it.
Please don't join any frats. They're like,
Yes,
they're
grandma.
like, they're hazing and et cetera, et cetera. And it was
The
just like,
hazing.
okay, grandma. I just like kept laughing and was okay. And
We'll leave it
don't
to
worry about
Barb.
that.
Oh, Barb.
Don't worry
We
about
love
it.
Barb. Barb has also been mentioned on the podcast.
Yes.
Well, we're just bringing Barb. Yeah. Classic Barb. That's very good. So she says, don't join any frats.
Yes.
Don't join
She
any
says
frats.
no to
Don't
frats.
join any. No, just say no to frats.
Say no to frats.
I was just in Long Island, so I was imagining Bob.
Mm.
Yeah, there was just a lot of little Barb accents everywhere.
Yeah.
So Caitlin,
yeah.
what was your question?
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for that wonderful introduction. We're so happy again to have you here on the pod. And thanks for telling us more about the organization that you're putting together. We love it. It's very wholesome. I feel like usually we're like raunchy, crass little bubs.
Just a little bit,
Mhm.
So, thank you
As one does.
for bringing it around.
I mean,
I had a few questions.
To be fair, this is the kind of, would it be an analogy? I don't know. This is the thing I use to describe like me and Raiden. Raiden is very, I don't want to say he's anti Halloween, but like if we had to pick
I'm actively anti-Halloween. Don't worry about that.
If we had to pick like holidays for each of us to be like,
Holidays.
I obviously love Halloween. Thanksgiving is actually my favorite holiday, but I'll leave that. But I love Halloween. I love things like spooky and like not brash, but like I don't mind like skeletons and things like that. And Raiden is very much like wholesome little Christmas boy. So
he's like wearing the Christmas angel outfit, like
yes.
Christmas.
Do you remember when you were in the Christmas play? Oh my god!
I think when I was in like pre-K, right?
Yeah,
I was like
very, very
Joseph
little.
or something.
You were Joseph, Pop-Off
Yes.
King. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
There's
And I
photos
remember-
of this somewhere.
I remember our dad sewing him a little like tunic to wear with a little brown rope belt. That I
had a
haven't
cane.
thought of that in ages.
Oh
yes,
my
you did. You
God.
had a cane. Oh my god, memory unlocked.
What?
I completely
want it.
forgot about that till right
Oh my
now.
God.
That is so funny.
I want
Oh my
that photo.
God.
Tell me I want that photo for sure. We could put that up. We'll put that as like his bio photo.
Beautiful.
So
I think
my
you can ask
question-
mom for that. She
Oh,
probably
she
has it.
has it? My question is, let's see. I had a few actually. They kind of flew around. But one thing I want to know, would you rather have a 10-inch long belly button or accordions for legs?
This is a shitty question.
It's a very serious question.
Like 10-inch tall belly
Like
button?
long, like your belly button. Imagine it's an Audi. It's Audi. Yeah, an Audi
Yeah.
belly
Ew.
button. And it's 10 feet long.
10
10
You said
feet
10
or
inches.
You said 10 inches.
Oh, I'm so sorry. 10 feet. I can't believe
Oh,
I messed
God.
that up.
Ugh.
10-foot long belly button or
Accordion
accordion
legs. Can I still walk like
legs.
normal?
I mean, it's
Or-
an
Or are you just like
accordion.
bouncy?
Do they make
You're-
Each of
noise?
them is an
The
accordion.
mechanism of an accordion.
Does
that
it make
one.
noise? Like
It's an
Mhm.
accordion, so yes.
I would probably do the belly button and then I could like
Mhm.
roll it up and like put a hairband around it or something and like just
Wrap it around your waist, tuck it into your
don't know.
pants.
How would you
Ooh.
tell people about it? Would you
no, definitely not.
what would you do then? Like what if someone's like, let's
Just-
go to the beach?
I don't know, man. Maybe if I'm not, can't I just cut it off? Like, let's be real.
I
If it's
feel
10
like,
foot long,
yeah.
I could
No,
just
it
get a
would grow back.
procedure.
It would grow back. You're a mythical
Mm.
creature in this.
I'll be a frequent
Sorry.
at the like plastic surgeon.
Just
Pull
pulling
a
up
punch card.
Just pull.
Every fifth belly button removal.
Oh my
you get one
God.
free.
Dude, I bet those are real. Like, I've seen billboards here in LA that are like Botox, this many units, and then this
Right,
many
yeah.
units free. I'm like,
Lip injections, stuff like that.
how
Yeah.
you just gonna BOGO Botox right now? Like, girl, that's insane. That's so funny. Okay, that wasn't my important question. My other question was like, I had two. One was letting you pick, dealer's choice. It was either what's it like to be siblings or what's the most boring thing to talk about / listen to other people talk about. You pick.
Or you can answer both.
Or both.
Your choice.
Trying to think. I think the most boring thing to hear people talk about is like coming from university, right? There's people who are just so involved and like caught up in the chit chat of life in terms of like, oh, Ace, like Brad said this and, Allie said that, yada, yada, yada. And just kind of the,
Like the he said, she said kind of conversation.
Like
a
drama?
little bit, just
Like
drama,
cheesy?
just like personal drama like
Mm,
that.
I
That's
agree.
completely like unfounded, and the people who just
Mhm.
spend their entire lives like swimming in a circle of that, and finding people that are just tiring to be around because of
Mhm.
that.
Mm.
I'd
Tiring
much
to be
rather
around.
be friends and spend my time around people who are more genuine and can have like actual conversations, and the things we talk about are not just um yeah, just like social based in terms of like, oh, are you going to this party, or are we doing this thing, or like just swimming in that circle. It's very much a frat / sorority thing as well. It's just
Mhm.
the meaningless drama that exists. So I think that's something that is the most boring thing to hear about, most boring thing to listen to.
Okay.
But I guess that's my answer for the first one.
All right.
Second one, what it's like being siblings. I don't know. I mean, I've never been siblings with anyone else,
Fair.
so I would say my
What a practical
experience.
answer.
This
I
is
I don't know
why
if my experience is like on par with others. I'm sure it's
Don't
different depending on.
benchmark,
I'm
just
sure.
describe the novel. Like, just focus on the
Mm,
novelty, I guess. You don't have to benchmark of like, I
I
don't
think it's
know.
more like
Kind of, I'm
Tom
your
and Jerry
sibling
than you would
though.
imagine.
Tom and
Yeah.
Jerry.
I have always equated us to Dwight and Jim from The Office. I feel like they have a very sibling relationship as well, where it's just kind of like
That's true.
you have so much love for this person, but you just want to like annoy the fuck out of them 24/7. And it's not even, you don't even consciously like make the decision to be like, I'm going to be annoying to this person. It just like, it just happens. It just like comes out of you.
Yeah, and I think we're all
Uncontrollable.
bred with an insane amount of sarcasm. Like that's my bread and butter, and it's
Yeah,
just so fun to devolve into that,
that's really true.
especially as siblings. So
Oh, he's very dry. He has
You
the
do both, though.
driest humor, though.
You
Like,
both have
even
good
some,
humor.
he'll say stuff to me just with a complete deadpan face sometimes, and I'm like, I don't know how to take this.
Like,
He has always been the most like critical in a loving way. I don't know. I
yeah,
feel like it happens the most at like family gatherings and stuff, like when we're all
yeah.
together, particularly at like Thanksgiving, where we'll sit
oh
around
my
and
god,
well, we always will like make food. Like everybody, it's like potluck kind of, everybody brings something and it's something that our whole family does, but we'll sit down and as everybody's like trying everything, we'll be like, oh, who made this? And, you, me, and dad will all sit around and be like, it's good. I think if you did this, this would be better and this, that, the other. And Raiden is always just like, it could be better this way. He's always just very like dry and it doesn't feel like constructive criticism. It just feels like criticism. But I
But
know he's only saying it like out of love and out of it could be better this way. But
I,
yeah,
it never fails to make me be like, you could be nicer about that, you know?
I
if
feel
I
like Raiden's
wanted to
very, like,
purely be
direct.
nice about it, I just wouldn't. Like if I
Say
wanted to
anything.
I don't know.
But you're just, like,
Also,
you,
like
like,
I have
mean it.
no judgment on them. Like they don't have to listen or they don't have to do anything about it because it
You
seems
just
as if
say
they
what
do
you
not.
think.
So
Yeah, you
I
just
guess
say,
in a
like, what
way,
you think and
Yeah.
mean. It's like, there's just no, like, passive aggressive, or like I don't know what the right way is.
It's not passive aggressive. I'm not
Yeah.
like mad about it or anything.
It feels that way a little bit sometimes.
That's
But that's what I mean
funny.
is he's very dry. Like it doesn't come off as being like really sweet all the time. And it's not
That's
a
fair.
bad thing. It's just how you are. I just have to
He's gonna like overthink all of his interactions now.
no,
Yeah.
just with me, I have to like adjust how I feel because I'm like, I know he doesn't mean it like that.
Yeah.
We were talking about this with the emoji. What does the
Oh my
emoji
God, this is a good
of-
question, actually.
of the dots with like the smiley face, but it's upside down?
The upside
That means
down
like you're
smiley
pissed
face.
off. Yeah.
Right. Thank you. Thank you.
That's like
Thank you. Thank
what
you.
are those tests that tell you like how you see the world? That's like one of those
You're
tests.
talking about like a blot test?
Kind of. It's like, is it a Rorschach's test? It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's like when you see certain things, what shapes you see or whatever. That's like with the emoji. It's like, what does this mean to you? I was just like, what did I say? I was
think
like,
society has a common consensus on these things, and
Right.
the
No
only people
way,
who don't understand it are like old
your
people,
mom.
and they
Yeah.
will use like they will use emojis in like the way that they
Makes
think that
sense.
it's intended,
Yes.
and just completely not get it.
Mm-hmm.
Or the same thing with like random like I mean, you've probably seen these memes like where they're saying like LOL or something, and then they're like just make it some other like acronym that they just happen to make up. Like
Oh, like what is LOL? What are other like alternatives? Like love over lambs. No, that makes
Anyway.
that makes sense. I disagree completely though. However, no, I see Haley and I talked about this yesterday. I see two things. One, it's either like ha ha ha, kill me. Like I'm just like meh, like I just kill me. Where it's literally like hee hee, okay.
Nah,
No.
it's definitely like I told you this was how I wanted it to be done.
What?
It's upside down smiley face. Like you just didn't get it. Like what the hell is going
What
on?
the
We have the same
heck?
understanding of it.
Yeah, this is like common consensus, Caitlin. I think
No way.
you should
But
probably
This
redact
is gonna
anytime
be
you
our
send that.
poll. When we post this
Yes.
episode, I'm gonna have this as our poll because there's no
Yes.
way.
You're gonna
No
lose for
way.
sure.
Okay, well, let's just
'cause-
see.
Okay, so I brought this question up to her because I responded to your bridal shower invitation like going, and you sent that as it back, and I was like,
I did? Oh my god.
yeah, you like responded to it with that one, and I was like, what, are you fucking
Let me
mad about it?
see.
Like,
Yeah,
bitch,
for
you know
real.
I'm gonna be there. What are you fucking mad about it or something? But our mom sends that all the time. She will send that emoji back to me, and I'm like, is this bitch mad at me or something? Like constantly, I'm like, what is she
I'm
upset about?
changing
And
it
then I have to
now.
like check myself because I'm like, clearly she doesn't mean it like that. Clearly she has a different understanding of it. But
I
in
changed
my
it
mind,
now.
oh, good, thank you. But in my mind, it means like, what the fuck? I just told you, like, pissed off or the haha kill me. Like, in my mind, it is the exact opposite of happy. So I have to like check myself and my understanding of what other people are meaning.
Even the normal like smiley face is also somewhat like
a little bit passive aggressive.
okay.
What? No, you know
Yes,
what? Oh
the
my god,
general like
actually, I have
smiley face,
tea.
the unflipped version is also passive
Yes.
aggressive.
I
It's
have
like,
tea actually on
thanks
that.
for that smiley face. And
No,
it's
Okay, first of all, sorry, I'm cutting off because I have tea. First of all, when you type in like say on Slack, the smiley face, like colon parentheses, it automatically goes to that one. So
you have to type
there's
like two
that.
spaces in between the colon and the smiley face, or like add a nose or
Okay.
something.
Anyway, it's fine. I started my new job and the first day
Excuse me.
I was like, I'm so excited to join or whatever exclamation point, and I did that smiley face. And publicly
Oh my
in
God,
the
that's
Slack,
right.
did I send this to you, Haley? In
You
the
had told me about
Slack,
it, yeah.
publicly, the guy who is not my manager but will be my manager on a project happening like starting in November commented and was like, why only the smiley face and not the like bigger smiley face?
Yes, bigger
The
smiley face
grinning
is the
smiley.
actually happy one. The normal like is like nice, like all right, great, this is perfect, but all in a sarcastic way.
Who
Like
gets to decide?
society.
This is a democracy. I
What
never
do you
voted on
live
what
in
this
like
meant.
a emoji bubble? Like what is going on?
You're talking about like this one is passive aggressive,
Yes,
but
that
also
one.
I
What do you
disagree.
feel about the one with
This
the
is
the
fighting.
blushy cheeks?
We're
It
gonna
depends on
be
the context in which you use it, but I think that
Okay.
one's more normal.
Yeah.
Like the actual happy one is like either this one. This one is also
I hate that one.
sarcastic.
Yes.
Like this is the only acceptable one.
The full grin
The full
or
grin,
yeah.
No.
So hang on.
You can't see. She's not gonna be able to see that.
You can go a little closer. I disagree, but I thought it was regardless
That's
of.
yeah.
No, that's like a creepy smile. That's like
No,
a
that's the
creepy-
only
happy
acceptable
one.
That's a
one.
really intense smile. That looks fake to me. The other one is like how I would actually smile. I'd be like, yeah, sure, yeah.
This one?
You're a psycho.
Yes.
No, that's
I'm a
pissed
psycho?
off.
Yes.
That's pissed off. Wait, that's
That is like
crazy.
this.
Okay, first of all, even if that was
That's like smile not meeting your eyes. Like when you can tell someone is dead inside but they're smiling, that's what this one is.
Yeah, okay, whatever. I disagree. But I think it was still wild of that guy to comment like publicly in the Slack. Like, why this and not
Yeah.
this?
No, the
And-
public call out is wild.
It was my first day too. I was like,
Yeah.
girl. And I commented and was just like, oh haha, I don't know. Exclamation point, big smiley face. Like it's just like, what the
The way I
fuck,
would
bro?
immediately resign.
no,
I'd be
no.
like, I'm so sorry. I'm not actually a
What
fit
the
for this
fuck?
team.
I know. I was like,
I think
this
most
is
corporate,
weird
like
vibes.
you need to send with like at least 25% more enthusiasm than
Mhm.
necessary because
Yeah.
if you don't, then it just sounds like you're an asshole. So
I don't
you have to be like
corporate America.
so like so happy to have this meeting! Exclamation point. Here's the agenda for the day. Thank you so much for your time and consideration.
Mhm.
Best, your name. And if you just use periods for most of the sentences, I feel like you're begging for it to just be like received wrong.
That's
But
so
also that just is
sad.
me. I mean,
Because it's just like what the sentence is. Like it's just the
Yeah.
sentence requires a period at the end. I feel like it's harder also for women. Like if women don't have like exclamation points at the end of stuff, like but that's a whole other can of worms. But okay, whatever. F corporate America. Boo. I was gonna say we should talk about your summer in Seattle, but actually we can. But I want to actually like call upon our memory for a minute and think about what's like the funniest thing that Haley has ever said or done
Oh,
in
God.
your
I'm-
opinion.
cannot come
I
up with
want
an
to
answer for
both
that.
answer. No,
He
you have
doesn't think
to.
I'm funny, so you see the lack of a smile happening.
Raiden.
No comment.
Douglas Williams. What is your problem?
I think
I
it's
don't
just
understand.
growing up around me. Like it's
You're,
just
like,
this is
used
the
to
way that
it.
I am. Yeah. He's
But
like,
I
this
grew up
isn't
around you
funny.
too,
This is
and I
just my
was-
sister.
I grew up around you too though, and I was like actively like, this bitch is funny. Shit. Holy shit. And all your friends were so funny.
for me though.
That's fair.
See,
I didn't,
but
like-
y'all are both in the same like age bracket. Like y'all like grew up doing the same stuff. So our humor is different, I would
What's
say.
your humor?
I grew up in a
funny thing
vacuum
is-
humor.
The funny thing is, Caitlin, you're actually a millennial, and the two of us are both Gen Z technically.
It doesn't mean anything. That does not
No, but
mean
I'm
anything.
just saying, like, if we
Just,
were
like-
to look at like an actual generational divide,
Besides that,
technically-
Caitlin doesn't understand emojis. That's the only divide here.
That's so real. Like I've never felt more like a millennial. Anyway, we'll come back to that. That was insane. Okay, but no, Haley has definitely done. I'm trying to think like, what like this week, what's the funniest thing she's done? Like
That's
you're
like
just like
name your funniest, like name your best memory ever. Like
Okay,
name
okay,
one
do that.
thing that you name your favorite food you've ever eaten. Like it's so hard. It's like
okay. Name one of your favorite memories with Haley. I think we both should go. I'll think of one. You go first. Just
I don't
to
know.
round out.
I
the vibe, you know?
enjoyed going to Disney and Universal and that
we
stuff.
did do Universal quite a few times. That was really fun.
Aw, that's
That was
sweet.
good.
How do you? I mean, theme parks are so fun. Like, I
I
mean,
don't think
apart
we
from
really
the whole
talked
like,
about much the
sweating
entire
and-
time. Like I don't remember what we did in line. Like what would we chat about? Or would we just like stand there and
Probably
like
would
look at
just
our
like
phones? I don't
coexist
even
because you're
remember.
like so comfortable with each other.
Yeah.
I
The
will-
car rides and the Wawa runs were amazing though. I
Yeah.
love me some good Wawa.
The car rides is serious because I would be driving and he every single trip he would fall asleep in either the passenger seat or the back seat. And so for every trip that we took, I have a picture of him sleeping like this.
Yeah.
You should
For
make
Crumpled
a
up.
people who
collage.
are only listening, I was like dead asleep in the
Yeah.
passenger seat.
Look like a
Mhm.
corpse.
But in the mornings, it was nice.
Mhm.
And also, I've never really driven with you on I-4 at that point,
Mhm.
and I never
I-4.
realized how much of like road rage that you have. It's ridiculous. Like any person who does anything wrong is like getting
Okay, low key
yelled
though.
at.
Low key though.
It's a lot.
You're
And
putting her on
for
blast
Haley,
right
who
now.
has never like she got her license when she was like 18, 19,
Which was
after not
late.
having it for
That was
like the entirety
technically
of high
late.
school. It
Yeah.
is very late.
Haley.
And so she would just like,
Lazy ass.
yeah, I had never really driven with her until this point.
Yeah.
Because it's not like she was in high school and like driving me around. It was after she had moved out.
I feel like in our defense though, like our moms though, I don't know. I feel like our moms had pretty bad road rage. I know my mom did. I feel like your mom didn't have terrible road rage, but it
No.
existed. She was capable of it. Like I had
Oh, I mean,
seen
you
it
should
a few
definitely
times.
call people out when they are doing stupid stuff, but like to the degree in which Haley does it is kind of crazy. I think you create part of the problem too. Like I'm there's such thing as there's different kinds of driving
I get it
styles, and
though.
if it's their fault,
Okay.
it's their fault. But
To
like,
be
Okay,
fair,
let's
you
just
also
pause this.
been in the car with me driving in quite a few years. So I'm a much better
Oh.
driver now. So
Oh,
I claim to be a very good driver, regardless.
I don't trust
That's
people who
one
say they're a
thing.
good driver. I just don't trust
I'm
it.
actually that's one thing I do pride myself on is being a like good driver.
I don't know that
I'm not
Momentarily.
saying I'm a safe driver 100% of the times, but I am a decent driver.
and I'm like almost the opposite. Like I don't consider myself to be like an exceptional. Like I'm not getting anywhere like the fastest. I'm not necessarily like I'm not like a race car driver. You know, like I wouldn't consider myself
Mhm.
good at driving in that capacity, but I am a
Mhm.
safe driver to the point where Nick is always like, it's like you drive like an old man, and I'm like, listen, do you want to get there safe or not?
That's exciting for you. Congratulations on becoming a better driver, Haley.
Thank
And
you. Thank you.
Raiden for almost graduating.
I think it was congruent with learning to drive stick.
Like
Like when
yes.
I drove my Saturn, which is what we took to Universal, I think there's a certain level of rage that naturally just comes with driving one of those cars because they suck so fucking bad.
Bro, I got so many. My phone be blowing up right now.
Putting
I-
That's
on
because your wedding
focus
is
mode.
in T-minus
like 9
9
days?
1 week.
days.
Girl, that's gonna give me an aneurysm. Anyone want to go get matching lobotomies? Me. We were gonna get matching tattoos, but now we can get matching lobotomies.
There we
Great.
go.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you guys like, what are you? Final question. Unless you guys don't like it, and then I can give you a new question.
Mm.
But what is something that you're looking forward to, like, just for like the rest of the year? No obligation, obviously, to say the event that you're coming to in 9 days. I just am genuinely like, do you have anything upcoming in the next few months or next year or whatever that you're like really looking forward to, or
For
what's on the
me,
horizon for both of you? Yes,
for me,
both of
it's
you. Haley as well.
working on my club. So working on CSU, there's 2 GBMs, general body meetings, that are upcoming. So it's essentially just like pitching what we're doing to a group of people, and showing off like the work we've done, the website and whatnot, and just continuing to work with my like team of people, to get it done. And that's kind of what I'm sinking a lot of my time into. To almost somewhat of a pitfall, but the idea is like I only get this chance once. So like I have homework to do after this because I've just been working on everything besides that. So putting my time into that, that's what I'm looking forward to, is having the projects that we've been working on really manifest. So I have like my job is kind of squared away now, so I don't really have to worry about after graduation. My main focus now is like, okay, get back to doing like things I enjoy.
Congratulations, by the way.
Yes.
Thank you.
Big freaking deal.
I am
Yeah.
equal parts excited and ready to throw myself into a 6-foot grave and die.
It's okay.
I know.
You can do this more often, and we'll be on the same time zone as Caitlin, so it's okay.
That's true. Anyway, let's not get into depression right now.
Yeah. Anyway, so the point there is just saying, finishing up the school year and just coming back to doing more things that I like. So leaning more into photography stuff. I need Haley to develop my film that's sitting in her fridge, so I can scan that. Getting into photography, just working on more personal projects like CSU and photography, things like that, in 3 months.
I'm sure the people
Yeah.
are delighted to hear, and you're inspiring them. And we're so eager to see what UFCSU does
Yes.
for you. Okay. What about you, Haley?
Well, I mean, obviously this wedding coming up is pretty much like the biggest event of my second half of the year, besides going to Ireland. Any trips are the most exciting for me. So
Yeah.
this will be very, very exciting. I've never been to LA
Mhm.
before, so I'm looking forward to exploring a little bit with you. And then literally like a week after, not the weekend after the wedding, but the one after that, Nick and I go to North Carolina to Charlotte. I'm very excited to explore there too. I have never been there. I've been to North Carolina a bunch, but never to Charlotte. There's a big car show happening called the Congregation Show. Looking forward to. It's a big like motorcycle and car show, and it's very cool, and I'm looking forward to it.
I could see you living in Charlotte, actually, Haley. For like
It's
the
more
Charlotte
city centric. Yeah.
area, not necessarily
Okay,
the
there you go.
city of Charlotte, but like maybe a
At least
little
there's things
further
to do
out.
around there. Yeah.
There's so much
I-
to do. It's like better weather than Florida, honestly.
Yeah.
Pro you getting out of Florida personally.
Mm.
I love having no neighbors or few neighbors. So
That's true.
anywhere I can do that is fine. Are you looking forward to moving to the Seattle area? And what
Oh
are
my
your
God.
thoughts
That's crazy.
about where you may where would you like to stay out there? Do you want to be like in the city? I can see you being outside of it a little
Mhm.
bit, commuting and doing your
Mhm. I think I've always liked having a house or like having a place in which I can kind of take ownership in. Like even at this random apartment, like I've gone outside and like swept up all 4 floors of this like apartment building because it was just dirty. I've like taken upon myself to like kill all the wasps around.
Thank
There's like so
God.
many wasp nests. So something I'm looking forward to is just like even if it's a like a house with a couple roommates, just having a place where I can like be and put my time and effort into building something that's nice. So just like a nice space, a nice house, a nice room, whatever it is. And getting a nice armchair, having my coffee set up, like things like that. That's what I'm looking for in a
Aw.
house and something like that.
I love that you
I
use
want
the word
the
armchair.
IKEA Puan. I don't know how to
Oh,
pronounce it, but
what
they're
is it?
so
Oh.
comfortable. They're very
I was
cheap,
just
but I
at
just don't
IKEA
have the
yesterday.
space for it. That you can
You
find them a
will,
lot
babe.
on Facebook Marketplace.
You will. You'll IKEA, Facebook Marketplace is
How do you
great. I
spell
got
it?
really good stuff too. I did a estate
ANG.
sale.
Oh,
Yeah,
that one. I think you said
So-
Plong.
But I'm definitely
Oh,
more
This
interested.
is very Raiden. It is very
It's
like
extremely comfortable.
modern.
Don't knock it till you try it.
Show the
I'm not
listeners
knocking
that
it.
are watching.
We have a very different
Oh yeah, Haley and
like design style, and this is very Raiden.
Anyway,
That's
so
exciting.
in
I hope that
Seattle,
happens for
the
you.
thing that I like is it is a city where public transport exists, which
Mhm.
is unheard of for Florida. First of all, if I don't have a car, I'm like I can't do anything. I can't go anywhere.
Mhm.
I'm not taking the bus for an hour to get somewhere where I could just drive and it's 10 minutes or 20 minutes away. Like
Mhm.
that's just a huge inconvenience to me. And especially since I've grown in like a car centric society in Florida,
Mhm.
I want that to be
Well, and in a
like
car
what I have.
family.
Car
Like,
family, yeah.
Big car.
Give
like
me my
the-
Miata. I want to take it out on like the roads in the weekend. I
He's
know you have
speaking
an
like
opinion
he
on this.
currently has it.
It
Aw,
is so
wait,
close. It is so close.
Miata. Okay, let me.
It is
hold on.
taking every ounce of
Google's-
my willpower to
Oh,
not
this
buy
is
a Miata
cute.
right now.
I think the obsession with the Miata has started from like when
Cars.
you were very, very small. Yes,
No.
exactly.
It's
Tia
giving
and
cars.
Mia.
I don't want the flash up headlights. I don't like that
Why? Those
one.
are so
Those are
cute.
so cute. I love
I just want
those.
a nice car that's like can get me into driving a car that's manual. I'm not trying to sink like $1 billion into something.
Yeah.
Right.
Because at heart I'm a cheap man. So
Well, we'll
um,
see how that goes as you have a salary and you're like, I can afford an appetizer and a drink for dinner.
I've been
Yeah.
desperately trying to get him. I send him every like shitbox 80s Toyota I possibly
I don't
can.
want something like that.
Haley, this makes me think you should have like a solo cars podcast, like where you just talk about cars.
Oh god, I could
Solo
Or not
would be
podcast, but like an
crazy.
episode or
get I could
something
get
where it's like,
Raiden on. I could get Dad on.
yeah,
Papo,
you guys could just like
Nick,
riff about cars, and
Nick's
I could
family,
just,
his whole
We could just
family.
make YouTube videos.
yeah, but on the pod we could
I
do
could
like
be
a
like James
special.
Pumphrey. Love that
Could do-
guy. Have you seen the meme that says like it's like a girl being like, my dad really likes cars, so you know, like that might be a good thing to talk to him about.
Mhm.
And then it's like the boyfriend is like, so I heard you like the 2002 hit film Cars, whatever year that came out. I think it was 03.
Okay, I have a bone to pick.
Okay,
Personally.
we have
With
to
what?
wrap soon. So is it a short bone or a long bone?
It's a short bone to pick, and I
Okay.
think it's a good wrap up.
Okay.
I don't deserve the hate for driving a Nissan Altima, and I'm
No.
truly sick and tired of it.
You get hate for driving an Altima? It's a very practical
Me and
vehicle.
Dad give him a lot of shit for driving an Altima because, and it's not him. He does not reinforce the stereotype at all. But there is a very, very reputable stereotype of Altima drivers being very bad drivers, and it's Altimas and Maximas they're just not good drivers. There's always, you're gonna roll up on one and like one of the quarter panels or bumper is gonna be crunched. The person is driving like a fucking crazy person. I had one tailgating me with no headlights on in the pouring rain at the start of my drive up here. And I
Oh my
immediately texted
God.
him and I was like, can you guess what kind of car is tailgating me in the pouring rain with no fucking headlights on? And he was like, is it a Jetta? A Rabbit? What else did you say? A
Aw.
Beetle? And I said, no, you know what it is.
It's because this bias is nothing but just viewership. Like you see the memes and then you immediately look for the bad Ultima drivers. There's so many
Maybe.
Ultimas
There's so
out there.
many of them.
I think regardless, there seems to be enough that the stereotype is at least partially
Oh,
reinforced.
I'm sure it's partially reinforced, but
No, yours
it's
is the
such
nicest
an
Altima I've
overplayed
ever
joke,
seen.
and I don't like it. I'm like,
Okay.
can we
Justice
find
for
something
Raiden.
new? Justice for
Hashtag
me.
justice for Raiden. We
Hashtag
stand with you.
I'm a good Ultima driver.
You're a
I'm like the
good,
old lady Ultima drivers, please.
yeah.
Yes.
You're a good Ultima driver. You're original, and you cannot be bucketed into a stereotype. I ride with you, brother.
His is the nicest Altima I've ever seen. It has most of its paint, all of its body panels
Good
are,
job,
are
Ray.
they're straight, they're in good shape.
Well, thank you so much, Raiden, for coming on the Kindred Spirits Club podcast. You're our very first guest.
Woohoo!
Of course.
Woohoo! And so someday when we have, I'm trying to think of somebody really famous and cool. One day when we have insert cool famous person Owen Wilson on our podcast,
Oh yeah.
we'll be able to be
Wow.
like, well, we'll be able to be like, but Raiden Williams was the first on our very prolific podcast. So thanks for coming on. Thanks for telling us about yourself, talking about your organization and the causes that you're passionate about,
And
as well
declaring
as your
justice for
life.
Altima drivers.
And in conclusion, actually, I'll let Haley
I'll be
conclude,
back.
but justice for Ultima drivers.
Justice for Altima drivers that are good, that have all of their body panels.
Haley, you want to say any final words here, or we can close out?
Thanks for joining us. Thanks for being my little brother.
Aw, sibling love and